How is everyone today? So I'm just going to jump right in here because I know everybody's got, 4th of July plans. It's a holiday weekend. We're going to do this quick. So I've already made this bow. I used a solid red 2.5 inch. I used a 2.5 inch like red truck pattern. And then I used a 1.5 inch solid red. Just a simple bow. I did the 2.5 inches, these two ribbons in 14-inch loops, and then I did the middle ones here in 13-inch loops. And I just cut long tails because, you know, we'll fix those as we go. Hello, Chrissy. Thank you for joining. So we're going to start on a 14-inch grapevine base. I've already given it a little haircut and gotten some of the wild and crazy parts off. So we're going to go ahead and start with our bow and get it put on. I think we're going to put it right about there on this left-hand corner here. I'm just going to run the pipe cleaner through the grapevine, hopefully, and tie it off. There we go. So you're going to pull it really tight and give it a good twist in the back to secure it. So what's everybody doing this weekend? Big plans? I'm going to get my bow going a little bit here. So we're just going to spread the loops apart. I'm not going to mess with it too awful much because we all know it's going to get all messed up. I'm going to take all of these tails and just kind of roll them together. Kind of get them out of the way. Well, that didn't really stay, now did it? Hi, Sandra. Okay. So we put our bow on first. We're going to take this one ficus bush and we're going to cut it down into 3 pieces. So there's 3 veins. We're going to cut that into 3 pieces. We're going to take the longer piece and it's going to come up under the bow here. So just lift it up and weave it in, just like that. I'm going to take another piece and bring it on the other side of this bow. Just like that. And then we're going to have this one coming up just a little bit. We might need one more piece, but I'm going to stop at this, I think, and get some of the flowers in. There's a lady, I'll have to get the link for you, that makes them. I got mine a couple of years ago, but I wouldn't trade anything for this stand. Well, I would. I wouldn't mind having like a full easel where I could, you know, film this way. But for now, this is fine. I'm going to get one more ficus. But I do love my board. It's a great board. gonna get another ficus, and it's gonna come up out of the top of that just a little. Got my fan on, so glue's going everywhere. So like that, there we go. I'm gonna go ahead and put the rest of this in, I think, down here. There we go. Got one more piece. Let's see where we might put it. I really kind of want it on the bottom. So let's just come right out the bottom. Go right under and stick it in. Perfect. Normally I don't put this thick of a ficus base down, but I'm not using much other greens, I don't think. We shall see. Now the flower choices are some red sunflowers. So I have 2 large heads, a medium head, and 2 small heads. So let's just start putting them in. I'm going to leave both sets of leaves on here, and they're going to kind of stick out above the frame quite a bit. There we go with that one. Let's take the other big head. And we're going to put it at the bottom. So let's take, and not drip glue everywhere, and split the ribbons down the middle where they go, so we can find an entry point here, and then we'll go in under here with this one. Got blue strings everywhere. To look at this for a second. All right. Now we're going to cut this little one down. We're going to take off the 2 little pieces and then leave the 1 medium-sized piece. All right, I think we're going to come there with that one. On the side here, next to the bow, right in here. So we're going to create this focal line. There we go. Right now we've got the two little ones. We're gonna come, I think, to the side and then to the top. So right about there. It's not going to stick out too tall. And another one right in here. There we go. So we've got the medium one out here to the side, kind of pointing out. We've got the two bigger ones here, and then we've got the two smaller ones in here. Now we're going to go in and fill in with a little bit of filler. And this one will be done. We'll put something, you know, always there in the middle of the bow. Now I brought a couple of things for fillers. I wasn't sure what I wanted. We've got some cool berries here. Everything's tangled. So we've got some cool berries that I could put in, maybe a little of those. I've got some of this yellow, which I really love. And then there's some of these wildflowers, which I don't love so much now that I've pulled them out. So I really think I like the yellow the best. So we're gonna go in with some of this. Now we're gonna leave this a little bit longer. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know if we need all 7 pieces. We'll start with 5 and see how that gets us. All right, so I cut 5 pieces of this. Now this is not one that can be condensed, okay? So that's why it has to stay long. But we're gonna just, you know, manhandle it. Do this and give it some life, okay? And then we're gonna go and start sticking that in. Here and there. To kind of pull in some color. Like right there. I like that. Let's go with so some straight down here. I'm trying to make sure my bow's gonna lay right here. I'm always trying to make sure my bow is going to stay right. I'm going to go ahead and curl. Start working on our ribbon bottoms here. I'm just trimming a straight edge. I'm folding it under twice and creasing that wire to give it a nice finished edge. And I'm just going to roll it, and I'll pull those curls longer here in a minute. But I'm going to do the same thing with all the ribbons. Just make sure you have a straight edge, fold it twice, crease it, and then you can roll it. That one was not so straight. There we go. So fold it twice, crease it, and then roll. Come on. Right, same here. Get a nice good straight edge. 1, 2, crease, then roll, last one, roll, fold, crease, and roll. Okay. So there we go on those. We'll pull these little curls down a little bit. All right. Hi, Sherry. How are you today, hon? See how I'm letting that stick out above the flowers, or the sunflowers. We're gonna go in right here, kind of on top of that one, actually. Oops! Don't pull too hard. A little more down around the bottom here, and then I might put some up in the middle. I think we're going to use the whole thing. So one whole bush of this. This is, hopefully this tells me, just a gypso bush or bud. Right, I need to put a little piece out this way. I have to pull that one out and do it again. Lift all this up after we've made it all pretty, and try that again. Alright, so we've got that one there. We've got that big piece down here. I need a little piece right there. I just cut that one long piece in half so I can put a little piece of this here to balance out. And then I might put a little bit right in the middle. I think that's perfect. We'll just put it right above the bow a little bit so it bends down over into the center of the bow. Kind of like that. Alright, now I've got some wild vine. You know, I like my wild vine here. And this is going to be the last thing we put in. This is a super quick and easy one. Whew. You know what? I need one more piece of that yellow. So let's get one more piece of that yellow going. Now we're good. Because it really needs to come back here. Alright, now we're going to put in some crazy vine. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. So, performing surgery. Making sure I don't touch anything. So there's one piece. Let's get this piece coming out of the top. Got 2 more pieces. I'm hanging in there, Sherry. Hanging in there. Trying to deal with the heat, and I don't know what the weather is like where you're at, but it's, I guess, probably milder today than it has been actually. But I work in my garage, so that's where my shop is. Alright. So one last piece of crazy vine. I think it's going to come down here. Let's fix that a little bit. There we go. Alright, so this one is going to come right out through here. Go in. There we go. All right. What do we think? I love it. So country. So finished. It's about 22 inches wide and about 33 inches long. And there you go. Thank you so much, Sherry. All right, y'all. Today's class in the books, and well, I guess have a good rest of your 4th of July weekend, and I will see you guys next week. Have a good one.